Hello, here we go again with a two handicap game played on IGS between Fred and Tuno, and Black played a very solid game as usual and won this game by 18.5. Also due to having Komi, so the game was played with reverse minus 5.5. Let's see what could have happened differently. So Black decided to attach, but usually the most common move is just Kosumi or Keima to secure the corner. Then if White extends for a base, Black can just play away and attack the top left corner to prevent the enclosure. Now on the right side, Black can also consider a loose pincer or a tight and high pincer. All these moves are possible. Any kind of pincer actually, it's available. Also Black can play the kick and extend to secure the corner, and when White goes for a base, Black attacks the top left corner. So the actual game: attached and Hane, Nobi, so far all natural moves. Block the corner, White extends, Black extends. Black can omit this move. O3 locally, it's also a fine shape, but in fact Black doesn't have to worry about the cutting point, because if White pushes here and cuts, Black can just capture. Of course White will get all these forcing moves in the corner, but Black has a nice turtle shape formation which is really powerful. So Black defend it and White approaches on the left side. That's very good direction to play. White can actually simply play Shimari, but being a handicap game, White has to be a bit more active, so this is a good idea. Now White could extend back to C11 to create a mini Chinese formation. Also C12 is an option, which will be the micro Chinese pattern. The idea with C11 is to be somewhat in the middle between D17 and C6, so this will form a moe on the left side. Now when Black comes inside at D15, White already got the stone at C11, so White can play Keima, and this way Black will just end up over concentrated to set up the base on the left. But it's fine for White to extend back to D10 as well. So Black can consider a corner approach, low or high. Probably low in this case. Anyway, Black played extremely conservative O17. Now White goes all the way to R14, but it's like moves 1 and 2 are like a normal exchange, but Black already played 2 in advance, so Black can just secure the corner next. Which means White should consider other moves. For example, a submarine approach like S16 or S15, or simply play away. Take the Shimari in the top left area. Then when Black extends, now approach the right side. Okay, so Black attacks the top left corner, that's a good idea. Now here, White could also consider the pincer, because this pincer works really well with the stones on the left side, D10 and C6, and puts more pressure on Black. So Black right now should probably just go out to stay safe. If Black goes in the corner this way, White can profit both in the top and the left side, while Black just struggles to run out somehow as fast as he can. White probably chose to play the normal Joseki because Black doesn't have space to extend ideal. So if Black continues the Joseki D14, normally Black wants to extend D10, so White being a D10 forces Black to play a narrow extension like this, and will just make the group over concentrated. So it's not a bad choice to play C15 either. So in fact it's a good decision for Black to play the hanging connection, because Black needs to make a flexible shape here. White finish up the Joseki, then Black jumps out. Black can play a peep as a forcing move and then jump further to get into the center faster. This seems a little bit more cautious and rather slow. And now Black is supposed to jump again, either 1 space or 2 space jump. But in fact, playing in the top, an extension from the O17 to expand the base also indirectly will defend the F14 group. So it's hard for White to keep attacking that group right now. This extension is not a bad move, but white should consider something on the bottom side, for example a shoulder hit and one space jump to reduce the potential on the bottom. If black plays something like J4 or K4, the bottom is going to be hard to invade. Black decided to defend the top right corner. That's a good move because next black can invade R12, R11, so white needs to protect too, which happened. And Q12 it's a very good point because you want to alternate high with low stones. So far all the moves are pretty natural. Now black defends another corner. Black is really confident in taking territories here, which is good. This move is a little bit uh, too slack or too conservative. White can play a Kosumitsuke threatening to invade the corner next, so black will either protect like this or block and then Hane and even double Hane. And if this happens, white gets rid of the invasion on the left side is Sente, but now white should really consider ways to enter the bottom area. And shoulder hit, it's always a nice idea to reduce, then run out. So this way, black is going to take the territory on the bottom side on the lower line than it happened in the actual game. So playing like this seems just a bit too slack. Another way for white is to play a Kosumitsuke, threatening to reduce at e4, then when black defends, immediately invade the bottom side. White doesn't have time to play too slow. Also, white can always connect under b14, so there's really no need to prevent the c8 invasion. Let's say white plays in the middle of the bottom side and black invades. White can allow the connection underneath. It's not such a big deal. Then attach once and extend on the bottom. So white takes control of the middle of the bottom side while black invades the left side, which means it's a pretty even result. So let's go back to the original game. Protect and black extends. This seems a little bit flat because all these stones on the bottom side are, or most of them are on the third line. So actually black should step up to the fourth line. And now we have fourth line, then third line, fourth line, third line, high, low again. So it's like a sinusoidal style of building territory. Anyway, playing low like this, white can still consider an invasion between the two stones, or at least a shoulder hit. Then fly out into the center. It's a bit too small to connect under. This is good in the end game, or between middle game and end game. So black has to make some eye shape. Black can use a shoulder hit and then attach or jump along, but a bit deeper or faster. Something like this with a no gamer. So white jumps along. White should prepare this attack a little bit. White can play a shoulder hit in the top and then attach. And now white is actually putting pressure on the top, but indirectly looking at the group in the middle. Separate them from afar. This jump is not going to bring too much territory to white in the center. So here black can jump along. And even if white plays something like e6, then when black goes Ogema, let's say white plays all this move. So in the end, there are like 6 points extra in the center. Center can always give the illusion that it can become super big, and oftentimes it doesn't. So black goes out. Black can jump even further, but we know black style, super tight and solid, which is generally good. Now here black should simply jump along, then allow these forcing moves, and in the end with the jump in the middle, black actually reduces the potential of the mark stones. So Tsu can cut. White should actually extend towards the other direction, because if black saves the stone in the middle, for example no b up or no b left, white can use the attach and cross cut to connect his stones to the top. Now when black goes Atari here, white has the Atari on the outside and capture this way. If black plays Atari on the right, white can Atari this way and capture the stone like that, or just pull back, because there's no way for black to connect. It's going to be self Atari. So white no B, but this doesn't impact the top stone so much. Actually next, white can play a shoulder hit and no B, threatening to cut, and then jump out with a Keima to put more pressure on the group in the middle. But this group is actually quite safe now. Then black has to do something to reduce the right side potential, and in the same time grow the bottom area towards the middle. So white jumps, black jumps, white keeps chasing, but that group is not killable anymore. This is actually a very good move to enclose the bottom, so white should already be alert about the bottom becoming too big and consider the shoulder hit. Then jump out to connect to the other stones. So black came out. Now finally white is taking a step to reduce the bottom area. Black defense very solid. Turn no B, that's okay. Black can get more forcey move using the cut. If white plays under, then black already reduced a lot on the right side. And in this case, white will just capture, but black can play Atari here or sacrifice one more stone to get more Ataris and forcey moves in the center. And like this, black gets to reduce a lot coming inside the middle. That's the magic of sacrifice. This Hane it's a bit early. So right now, white should actually block this way. But of course, black can come from the other side. It's really tough because all the groups and positions are settled on the board. So now it's more of a fight for neutral points. Here white can connect artistic with this kind of jump. If black pushes, white blocks, and that's it. So black doesn't really need this move. Better play a Kosumi threatening to separate the top. So I can connect this way or connect with a Kosumi. Then black has enough room to make twice. So right now, shoulder hit, push, cover. If white wants to kill this group, white has to reduce, but there's enough space to live inside this way. It's like an S, so no way to be killed. Ooh, how I came up to... I jump ahead too much here. So black defense. Again, white pushes and peeps, fine. Then reduce the bottom. Actually, white can play another forcey move, a clamp, then Atari, and jump to reduce more. And if black defense, just leaves the position like this and then separates. Or at least it's an attempt to separate black stones. This is just too peaceful. I mean, if white plays this move and black captures one stone, white is happy to give it up and enter the bottom side. So black defends again, that's very solid. Here white can play one Atari first and then go up to create a little bit of RG, so black might add another move. This block is not really important yet, but there's not much to do anyway, so not bad to defend against the monkey jump either. This block is excellent, and Atari is no need, just connect. If black blocks, connect again, because this creates some margin in the corner. So for example, let's say black plays around here or some other move in the center just to end up kote. White has the hane on the first line, and here black has to pull back, then push, block, connect, and connect. Now if black blocks right away, white can Atari go up, Atari again, and leave in the corner. Or when black turns, white just goes down. Of course, black can also reduce some points on the right side as a compensation, but already white destroyed a bunch in the corner. So in general, this is slightly better for white, but it depends on how much black can reduce on the right side though. So playing this Atari is an Ajikeshi because now the Aji in the on the second line and in the corner disappears. But white keeps center at least. That's a pretty big capture. And the proper way to defend it's S12 because black wants the clamp. So if black plays here, I mean white plays R2 and captures one stone in Gote, black is not going to Hane but play the clamp because when white goes down, black can separate like this in center or kill everything this way and damage the side. So on the clamp, white has to pull back or bump, then black will Atari under, counter Atari, take, connect, and now Hane on the first line. So black reduces a lot in center. Now this way black can steal Hane, and if white blocks, black can cut, and now fight the ko. So on this kind of Hane, black should just, white should just extend, and then black pushes along in center. So black defends the middle. White should go up to keep center. This move is not necessary. First of all, it's an empty triangle that builds a couple of points. White can Hane in the top in center, then capture R2. If black turns here, white just protects, so it's not such a big deal. Not such a good idea to cut, because after white captures one stone and black plays away, white can Hane in center. Now black needs to jump. But if white plays the cut, now there is no more follow-up at Q1. It's like you capture, and then instead of playing Hane in center, cut, which is a wasted cut red, and then the Hane will be just blocked right away. So black lost an opportunity to make a few extra points here. Tuck, tuck, tuck. So block, push, block again. If black cuts, capture. If black turns, white connects. If black cuts, white captures faster. So the fighting spirit is actually to block b6, which means black should just play Keima and white blocks. Then this in center, Hane also center. But now if white knows that he's behind, he will risk the ko, so just block earlier, then descend here to prevent the Hane by white. So block, pull back, push. Black should actually block this way and allow another push and another push. Oops, on this one just no B and then block. And eventually white has to come back and protect. Because like this, white can turn. White can also throw in once, then block and attack again to enclose the entire side in center. But this is pretty similar. So black defends. On this Hane, black should always jump. This is the right shape because now when white pushes, black doesn't have to do anything, and the push would be Gote for white. Therefore, if the push is Gote for white, white may play away, and then later black has the chance to block. Now, if black just plays the empty triangle, white will push right away because everything is sent locally, and it's better for black to connect solid in order to remove co-threats. Playing like this, white can throw in an Atari, so there are two co-threats there later in the game, especially when you fight the Lesko. This Hane finally came, but white should risk everything here and Atari. If black cuts, white takes the ko. If black plays some ko threat that's not so big, for example here, white takes again and so on. So white can actually fight back. And black being ahead, he will connect, white will connect, and this will save 2 extra points for white here. The right way to defend is actually R11, because if white plays S11 just to have less co threats, black will push and white will play r11 anyway, and then s11 it's a waste, so it's minus 1 point. And it's the same thing with this s10. Black pushes, white blocks, so white wasted this move. The way to protect here is actually Hane and Nobi. Now in this area there is an Agi with a cut which just happened. Atari very good, but then white pulls back. White should Atari again and Atari one more time and then connect. Now when black connects here, white has to link and black has to come back and protect again. So all this intrusion was sent for white. And if black cuts, that's a little bit too much. White can push through. When black tries to resist, white will just kill everything. So all of a sudden, white makes these points and the game becomes extremely close. Too close for comfort, I guess, for black. But now black got away easier. So from here on, there's nothing white can do. Just play the last few moves and check the score, which happened. So in the beginning, there were a few small or slow moves by white, like the defense on the left side instead of reducing the bottom, and the bottom area just became too large for black, especially capturing those two stones in the middle. Also, the top right corner became quite sizable. So I guess the revenge must wait a little bit. Excellent play by Tuno today. Well done, and I hope you both enjoyed this review.